Hey, shalom, shalom. You have Hashem Yashabakatah. Quick testimony, man. Kicking in with this Edomite. You know, he's a fucking a gamer, and you know, I haven't played the game. I like video games and shit, but them shit's like a curse. Like if you like a major distraction out of all the distractions in the world. That's another topic, but I stopped playing them shits, basically. I gave my system away. Had an Xbox One or whatever, but, you know, playing the game is cool. You know, I grew up playing video games and shit like that. But I had to, like, cut it out my life for a while because this shit is a major distraction and they're addictive. Very addictive. Especially for men. You know, women play them too, but men that's like a fucking drug. And kids, like they video games. However, they coming out now, you know, as you know, a lot of GameStops is closing up. You know, those shits used to be everywhere, but they not no more. So now, what the Edomite was telling me, that if you want to play the game, you have to buy it from like digitally, you know, meaning like you gotta use your account and download the game, and it'll download to your system, but it's no actual physical disc, right? And he was saying that, you know, they starting it now. He said, like, maybe in a couple years. Oh, Salakia, I thought I had a sound like I got a flat and shit. But maybe in a couple years, it's just a tight road I'm on, but it should sound like I got a flat. But anyway, maybe in a couple years, he said that it's going to be straight. So what he brought out to me, which was really edifying, he said, you're not actually buying a game no more. You're buying a license that allow you to play the game, you know? And basically they're going to come with a system where you don't have a disc to put in, and ain't no fucking disc operated. Then you're gonna have people try to hack around it, but they said Nintendo Switch did that when people was trying to add shit on, and they just straight up basically send a signal and block their whole shit to where it wouldn't work. Cause really, you ain't gonna get over on Esau. This is world. The Lord gave him the power, like, for a reason. He got this shit padlocked, and if you do beat him at his game, he'll just change a couple laws or two and fuck you anyway. You know what I mean? He be like, oh, okay, you got that, or like he changed a law or two, or he just do what he want and tell you fuck you. You know what I mean? Only really person they can't really get that over is the men of the Lord, because we protected by Yahweh Shem Yahushua on the right-hand side, to the Lord give him the green light. But anything else pertaining to this world, this Esau shit, like he got rulership for a reason, you know, and he try to act like it's a fair deal, like the Lady of Justice is blindfolded, meaning that like everybody got a fair and equal chance, which is bullshit. But with the license, so he said you're not gonna buy the game, you bought a license to play the game, meaning I'm renting you out a license like the word license go back to privilege, because licenses can always be taken away. Like a nursing license, you do some fucked up shit, you fucking with the patient, they could snatch your registered nursing license. Your driver's license, you get too many points, drunk driving and shit, they could take that shit. So license kind of go back to the word like privilege. Like I'm giving you the okay to do this, but if you fuck up, I could take it away. So you're not going to actually own the game. You own a license to play the game. Meaning that for any reason, they could shut down your access to the game, which is, the New World Order, straight up control. And these fucking gamers, man, these people with these fucking video games, man, especially these new generation, you can't take away they fucking, Salaki, I'm jumping on fucking line. I gotta take that shit off, because if you cross the line without signaling, that shit'll beat. But if you, like with these games, you take people video games away. Like the Edomite I was talking to, he was a straight up fucking video game head. Even his girl, that's all they do. They said, fuck kids. I was laughing. I'm like, you got any kids? He like, no. Me and my girl, we don't want no kids. He was like, our kids is the fucking video game. They super video game fanatics. And that's what it's all about, control. Because when you physically own something, you could like kind of do what you want with it. Because you like, yeah, man, fuck you. You know what I mean? I'm going to go home and play the game. You got electricity, right? You got the physical game. You got the system. That's all physical. You plug that shit in. Even if your lights go out, you got a physical generator, solar power generator, whatever. You plug this shit up to the TV, to the game, pop your disc in and play the game. You got something to do. So what Esau did, see this devil, the new level of slavery, from hardcore slavery, he figured like, look, if you lock down the things that people want, you will always control them. Like, what do people want? What people want? Women. That's why Esau controlled the women. And when he controlled the women, he controlled your ass. So he put the women, he gave women's liberations. He put the women straight under his vibration. Then he locked down apartments. People want a place to stay. And people need food and shit like that. So he locked down the basic necessities of life. So even though you think you so-called free, if you really want to survive and have the basic things of life, you got to get into his system. But as time went on, people got more different addictions than, women, sex, TV shows and shit like that. Video games came about and all of that. So he's finding out more of a way to lock down people's pleasure. See, that's why in the scriptures, the flesh, tapping into the flesh isn't no good. Being in the spirit is better, because the pleasures of this world, the flesh, you're going to lose. So Esau is able to take control of people's pleasures, playing a game or, doing whatever the fuck, listening to music and like, so even with the music, right? All these new cars, they don't have no fucking CD player in it. You be like, yo. And a lot of people think, oh, streaming, it's a lot easier, it's faster. Like, you can skip songs, you can rewind, you got a playlist. It's much better than a CD. In many ways, it is. But when you look at the NWO, which is a system of straight control, straight power, if you ain't pay your motherfucking child support or some shit like that, you ain't gonna be able to listen. They can shut your music down. You try to turn on your favorite, your song, your Al Green, your Tupac, your Little Dirt, or Kodak Black, whatever you niggas listen to, right? You go to turn that shit on, and it'll tell you like, yo, from a lack of child support payments, you only limited to 3 songs a week. So your fucking music don't work. you can't play the songs and shit you want to play. You know, even with the video game, you can't, you know, you owe tickets and shit on your car. See, now in New York, you owe tickets, they just come boot your shit. You wake up, they slap a boot on your shit. Like, what the fuck? Because you owe the city tickets. You owe like $1,000 in tickets. You got to drop like $400 with a payment plan for them to take the boot off. So, but now, see, this new technology, this beast system gave Esau the real power that he always desired to have. Because the earth is big as fuck, but the internet make the earth small. And you put everybody onto the system. So you can't, so the new video game system, it ain't gonna be no slot where you slide the disc in. You know, like, oh, take the game out and slide it in. And nah, it ain't that. It ain't gonna be no tray that pop out and you slide. It's gonna be all built in the game. And if you wanna buy the game, you buy it offline, but you don't own the game. You're not buying the game. The devil was telling me you buying rights to play the game, a license to play the game. But at any time, they could bang your ass from that game. And guess what? It might be the same price, like $80, because now games run like $80. A brand new game that just came out, like $80. So that's straight control. You know? That's why there's no more DVD players. Motherfucker don't watch, you know. You just go on the internet streaming shit, the Netflix, you click on it, the shit play. You know, bootleg DVDs and CDs, that shit is old. But it was more power, it's more control. And one of the last thing they gonna make it now digital is the money, which is they in the process of doing now. So physical money, like that shit not really even getting printed like that no more. Because everybody, businesses, 90% of their transactions is electronic. I wouldn't say digital, I say electronic. I use that word. It's a close word, electronic and digital. But you'll have to know about the money system and how it works. And that's a whole nother breakdown. But it's more electronic payments, you know, EBT card, debit card, credit card, shit like that, right? So, and most money, like banks, I think they let you take up $1,000 out, this and that, but like most people don't have physical cash or walk around with like physical cash, you know, unless you like, you know, basically if you got physical cash, that shit is like, you like kind of like a fucking dinosaur, really. You know what I mean? Like if you got like these drug dealing niggas that be flashing money and shit, I be looking like, yo, y'all niggas, I mean, them niggas been whacking, played out and shit, but it's like, yo, nigga, you could tell like that shit is lame anyway, but you could tell like that's all the bread they got, or that's all they last stash, or you know what I mean? Or they just trying to make an image to attract bitches. You know what I mean? Or they might say, yo, give me your 2,000, give me your 3,000. I'm going to turn in all the ones. We used to do that as kids. Put a bunch of fucking 5s and 1s together, put a couple hundreds on top, and then make it look like you balling or some shit. That shit was lame as hell. But now everything is like digital with the money. Because, and it's, see, most people don't have mental stamina. Most people not mentally disciplined. That's the word. They don't have the mental discipline to deal with finances and money. Most people don't. I didn't for a long time. Most people don't. So when you go Salaki, I'm behind the wheel. When you go and pay for something, or you send somebody some money, when you do that shit digitally or send it through Cash App or some shit, you don't really feel it. I mean, you'll feel it later when you go pay for some shit and your shit is declined or some shit like that. Or when people taking money from you, because you subscribe to different shit. You might be subscribed to a Patreon, a subscription is health subscription, or like your Netflix account or your Amazon Prime account. When that shit just come out of your account, you don't feel it because it's digital. You just look and be like, oh yeah. You know what I mean? You might think you got $200 in, you might look up as $130. And you like, what the fuck? And you'll look at your statement, you'll pull up online and you will look and be like, oh yeah, the Netflix, the fucking subscription. I got a Patreon. I got 3 Patreons and my gym membership. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, damn, that's where the $70 came from. Even with me, I try to keep a certain amount in my account for shit like that, so I won't get like overdraft or shit get. You look up, you in the negatives and shit. You go to pay for something. That shit is embarrassing. You go to and fuck what people think. It's kind of embarrassing, kind of like not embarrassing, but like shocking. Because me personally, I don't give a fuck what people think or a bitch. So really not embarrassing, but embarrassing, kind of shocking to yourself, really. You know what I mean? You go pay for like a coffee and that shit like, decline. And motherfuckers be looking like, like, yo, like, oh, this nigga ain't got $4. You know what I mean? But not people, but like the cashier. You know what I mean? Like, yo, this nigga ain't got, $4 to pay for this shit. So you don't feel it. You know what I mean? And when you don't feel something, it don't really have an effect on you. Like till later when you go to use it. But if you go to pay with physical cash, right? Say you got $2,000 and you go to pay your Netflix, not 2,000. Let's say 200. 200. Let's take a zero off. You got $200. You go pay a Netflix bill. All right, $15. All right, I'ma deposit it. Right. I'ma Cash App my mother. She wanna borrow $40. I'ma not Cash App, Salaki. I'ma go take my mother $40. You go out and you peeling all of this shit off of your fucking money you got, your physical money. So you're more conscious of like what you're doing because it's physical money. You more like conscious of like, oh, hold up, damn, my stat getting a little low. Like you might be like, yo, that phone bill, I'm gonna put that shit on a payment plan. I'm gonna pay that shit later. But with the digital shit, it just automatically come out. And then they're going to link all of that shit together on one system. They're going to link the video game playing. They're going to link your car. All of that shit. It's called, actually, it's a word for it. It's called the Internet of Things. Look it up when you get a chance. They're going to basically link everyday life, everything you use in everyday life to the internet. So you're going to think like you want to go turn your car on and listen to music or like this and that, because all that shit is going to be linked to one system. Salakia. So, yeah, man. I know that was a little 20 minutes. Not too bad. Salakia if I was rambling too much. But I'm behind the wheel just trying to explain different aspects of what's coming. You know? And, yeah, you're not going to be able to do a lot of shit. And they trying to control shit now, but it's real hard for them to do it. But with this new system that's coming, it's just like put everybody on a new system, and we could press a single button and just disable your whole shit with the press of a button. You know what I mean? Type your name, look your name up. As soon as your name pop up, press the no button, the end button, and that shit'll disable his whole shit. And we'll send an email saying blah, 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 blah. And people is going to flip the fuck out because they need their fix. You know what I mean? They need their fix. They need their cigarettes. Even buying cigarettes, that shit going to be more of digital type shit. Meaning they're going to make it to where, like, you got to scan your digital ID. The chip ultimately, but they might have another form of digital ID before that. Like, you got to scan your digital ID to buy some cigarettes. And they gonna make an excuse like, oh, we don't know how old people are. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everybody got to scan. It's just the way things is now. So, like, and if you don't scan your ID, you can't, I don't give a fuck if you look like fucking Kimbo Slice. If you don't scan your fucking ID, you can't get no cigarettes. I saw that shit out here with on the back of your license, it's a barcode there. When you look at the back of it, especially on the real IDs, it's a barcode there that you scan, you know. And when you scan the barcode, it pops up your age and all that shit. You know what I mean? But motherfucker go scan his shit, and he behind in his child support. I keep saying child support because that shit is a motherfucker. He behind in his child support, or he missed like 2 payments, or he ain't make his car payment, or his fucking rent is due. You ain't gonna be able to buy no motherfucking cigarettes. You know? It's gonna be like, yo, your rent is your fucking rent is due. Like your phone bill, right? Say, like, I put my phone bill on payment plan sometimes. Like, I ain't paying right now, fuck that. There's a lot of times I could pay right now. I just don't. I'm like, man, fuck that, I'll pay them later. Right? It might be like a $5, $7 surcharge, right? And it be times I want to make adjustments to my account. But they'll be like, yo, you can't, and most companies, I'm with T-Mobile, but most companies like this, you can't make adjustments to your account until your account is in good standing. So it's like, yo, you owe $80 on your payment plan. Once you pay the $80 and you don't owe, we can make adjustments. But so that's kind of like a penalty. Like, you can't, like, yo, I want to add a line. I want to take a line away. I need more data. I want to add a tab. You can't do none of that shit unless your account is in good standing as far as your payment. So they want to do that shit on a global scale, on a way faster way, you know, with the new system that's being implemented. Hey, so with that, Lord willing, that was edifying for the elect. I'm up out of here. Sayonara. Y'all brothers have a good Passover coming up in following week. Hey, shalom. Y'all Shalom.